Good morning, folks. I hope you guys can hear me now. Let me know in the chat if you guys can hear me loud and clear. Yes, thank you so much, guys, for joining. I had to restart my stream, otherwise I don't know like why my microphone was not working. Anyway, we'll start. We just have 5 minutes before the CPI drops the price lower. So yesterday, if you guys were in my stream, I talked about these breaker blocks, right? Do you guys remember? And I told you that I want to see price getting sensitive here, not instantly, but it can happen. Okay, so and on the daily chart, I showed you this inversion, right? And I talked about price going higher above this swing high, hitting this inversion and then going lower. This will be like a high probability scenario, and today the same thing is repeating here. We have an inversion, price is gravitating towards it. Price cleared out the buy side liquidity from here, right? So what I'll be doing, I'll be focusing on the sell side, which will make more sense when I'm gonna be dropping down to the lower time frame. So this buy side liquidity is cleared now. Price is still gravitating higher, and if it continues to go higher, we have another relative equal high here, just a little bit above, sorry, just a little bit inside the volume imbalance, sorry, the inversion from the daily chart. This inversion, this was a fair value gap, it failed, now it's working as a inversion here. So we have our buy side liquidity here cleared. If price is still gravitating towards buy side, we have this relative equal highs here. We have an unfilled fair value gap on 4-hour chart here, and then on hourly chart, nothing special but relative equal lows. What I target this here, very clean level. I would like to see this level getting taken out. We have a breaker here, lower low, new lower low. So this high, this up close candle is working as a breaker. So I'll also be marking this level here. Price may get sensitive, or it may not reach all the way down to these equal lows, rather get support from this breaker. So I'll be marking the upper portion, the upper body of this breaker. We have a trend line liquidity, a little bit of trend line liquidity right here, a fair value gap. Let's go to 50-minute chart real quick. Why is it not visible? Okay. So 50-minute chart, as you can see, price is pushing higher. Higher where? Inside our daily inversion fair value gap, right? We have a relative equal high from the 4-hour chart, and these relative equal lows are looking really nice, folks, right? But price did actually cleared one low here. It went lower just by a tick, and then it generated this relative equal low, this low and this low. They're relatively equal to each other. We have a fair value gap here, a lot of unfilled fair value gap to our sell side. But if price is just dropping, I believe like here inside this fair value gap or this, I think it will work as a strong probability, okay, high probability. So we have a BPR here alongside with a volume imbalance, and then this line that you guys see, it's our 4-hour breaker, right? Is it the 4-hour hourly breaker? Oh, it's hourly breaker, sorry. So a couple of things are aligning nicely. So now I'll be dropping down to our Our 50-minute chart is here, dropping down to 1-minute chart, 5-minute chart. Only 1 minute before the drop, I'm expecting to see price going towards sell side, folks. Like look at here on 1-minute chart, a lot of relative equal lows. So definitely sell side. I want to see price pushing higher and then dropping lower. High, then low. We have a relative equal high here. Let's see. Oh, straight lower. Nice. Straight move towards sell side. Right? So we were successfully able to predict where price will deliver. Right on Dow. These relative equal lows acted like magnets again. And we have this fair value gap that I outlined from the 50-minute chart. That's a BPR. Look at the 50-minute chart. That's a BPR. On hourly chart, that's a breaker. And below it, we have relative equal lows. So I'm expecting to see price going below here, below these relative equal lows. Let's see if price retest this mitigation block. Yes, just went above, retested it, now it's going lower. Beautiful drop, folks. Look at that. So we can also consider this as a breaker. So where will be the breaker? We have a high here, a clean swing high with candles next to it lower, right? So this is working as a swing high. Then we have another swing high with double top. I think that there will be probably a SMT here with ES or something. Okay, then we have this down close candle here, which is working as a breaker, but not tap inside here, but inside this mitigation block. Why am I not considering this candle as a breaker? Because there was no stop hunt above this swing high. So price went below, hit our 15-minute BPR. Look at that. This gray shaded box is our 15-minute BPR. I love tape reading like on high impact news days, because price can gravitate towards the liquidity levels, right, very quickly, and it happens so fast, like with precision, algorithmically. Price went up here, right, retested it, and I was telling you guys that, right, I want to see price retesting it and then going lower, and exactly right after it dropped lower sharply. So there's no chance for me to push the button here because of the spread. Like suppose I'm pushing button here, my execution will be a lot lower. So it's a lot of risk. Other than that, tape reading, high impact news is very fun. Like look at that. Like isn't it precise enough? Hit the like button. Yes, folks, hit the like button if you guys are enjoying my commentary so far. We'll be looking for setup inside 850 to 910. Not yet. I'm a macro trader and I do follow my rules like in a hard way. I have to follow my rules to become profitable, to be constantly profitable. So I'm doing that, and price still can go lower. As you can see on 15-minute chart, we have these relative equal lows, but we have a BPR, and then this level is at discount. Plus we have an hourly breaker from the hourly chart. Let me show you hours. This last up close candle here is working as a breaker, right? I already talked about it, so if you missed it, just go back a little bit and you will see me talking about this breaker here. What I want to see, price leaving these relative equal lows intact and just chopping around here until 850 or 920. If price does that, then I'll have a setup at 920 to 940 to target here. or 850 to 1010. Sorry, 850 to 910, not 1010. We have an unfilled fair value gap right here on hourly chart. So I want to see these relative equal lows are like getting intact, staying intact, and price just can do whatever it wants inside here. I want to see it just chopping around, delivering with high resistance liquidity, and then when the time comes, I want to see it go dropping lower. Okay, then on 1 hour chart, look closely, folks. We have a fair value gap here, which will be working as an inversion from now on. So I'll be watching this level exactly. do you guys see this fair value gap on hourly chart? So what made me think that this fair value gap specifically will work as an inversion, or I'll be looking for price to get resistance from here, because this is the last fair value gap before the move lower on higher time frame. And on lower time frame, you can see the price already got support from this inversion. Now after that it went below. There's like no retest, rather it's a straight move. So let's see what happens. Okay folks, let's wait for our price to get inside our time, and we'll be watching. Whatever price is doing right now, I have no interest in it, so I'll be just waiting until price gets inside my macro. So price is clearing out every target. These relative equal lows were too clean to stay. There's a breaker on 3 minute. What breaker? Yes, we have a low here. That's why this inversion is important, folks, right? You can either mark the breaker from here, or you can just trade off from this inversion. They both work just fine. And look at that, this level is exactly coming at aligned with the inversion. So yeah, this looks a very nice level for price to get rejected, but look at here, it's gravitating towards our target like with speed, right, without stopping. So let's see what price does. Very sharp drop, right? A one candle which cleared out every sell side liquidity that price generated overnight, yesterday, today, with one candle. So that's a lot of money here, right? Like people will get greedy, people will trade CPI before the news release, right? Because look at the money here, anyone can be like easily manipulated by this candle. Okay, if I'm right, then I'm rich with only one trade, right? But if I'm wrong, I'm blowing up account, and even more if I'm trading with leverage. Do you guys know about Henko trade? It's now advertising with 1 to 1000 leverage. That's crazy, right? Here we are trading with 1 to 100. Then if you are trading in features, it's like 1 to 50. And they are giving you 1 to 1000 leverage on Forex, I believe. So that's a lot. Did anyone ever traded with 1000 leverage? I never did that. So it's like if you are putting 0.01 lot, you will still be getting rich, right? You will still make a lot of money on leverage, but when you lose, you will blow up more than what you have. Then you will owe money to the broker. Yeah, that's quite nice. Anyway, price got support from the fair value gap on 15-minute chart after clearing out the relative equal lows right here. We have a swing low here. Did price cleared it? No, price generated another relative equal low. Let me check with ES. I believe it's not a SMT, but I don't know. Let's see. Is it a SMT? Oh, it's not a SMT. Right, on ES, price just hit the hourly breaker. The same breaker, ES and Dow, they move together, folks. Like the same breaker is visible on Dow and but on ES, you guys can see price. This candle's high. Okay, let me check the high. This candle's high coming at 44.07. This candle's low coming at 44.07. Like exactly at the top of this breaker, price hit and then it stopped. Like that's a crazy level of precision, right? To the tick, not even below. To the tick, it stopped here. And why is this level so important? Because it's a breaker. And where did it stop? Above the candle's body. So stop marking the candle's wicks, folks. Like you lack precision, you lack patience. That's what basically is. You're not patient enough to wait for price to hit the body, candle's body, and then show a good rejection. You are like, okay, if price just hits the wick, I'm okay. But you are not, basically. Price still wanna go lower. Look at that here. That's the reason I only mark the candle's body. But price do respect the candle's wick. It's not like it doesn't respect, but less time than it does the candle's body. So this is very nice. We have a very clean breaker on hourly chart here, right? ES looking very clear today compared to Dow. So let's see if price like gravitates here. I'll be putting an alert here, and if price does come here, I'll be talking about it. Other than that, we have an inversion here again. The inversion like these are very powerful, but hey, I didn't see it before. So this inversion is from 3-minute chart. 3-minute. Okay, it's also visible on 5-minute. This kind of inversion, folks, is very powerful for price to get resistance. And as you can see, price came up and hit it. Let's see if we get a breaker here at 850. Why is that a breaker? You are asking about ES. I believe you are asking me about ES, right? So why is it a breaker? It's very simple to identify a breaker. You just have to follow a pattern. Breaker is a pattern with logic. So we are not just like trading when we see a pattern. We'll have to understand this. So for a breaker to get generated, price will have to create a swing low. Then it will have to go below the swing low, then up, then retest the last up close candle from here. And when price goes above and closes the candle's body above the breaker, above this last up close candle, we consider it as a breaker. So the same pattern here again. We have our swing low, right? This low right here. Then price went below this low, the manipulation. Then we have our last up close candle. Did price close the candle's body above this breaker? Yes. When price did that, the breaker is activated, and that's why it's a breaker. I hope you understood. If not, just screenshot it and just align the pattern with here. You'll see a perfect resemblance of what's happening right now, right? You'll tell me, HYDRA, price didn't retest it and went above. Price already did at this candle. Look at that. The retest is very shallow. It's for like if you're trading on 1 minute, you will see price retesting this breaker before going towards buy side. But on hourly chart, we are seeing it again. Here price retested it and it's now pushing higher. I want to see price generating sell side liquidity, folks. Like relative equal lows here. so that I can target. I still want to see price going lower. Why? Because we still have a relative equal low down here. Is it a SMT with Nasdaq? Is it a SMT with Nasdaq? It's not, but Nasdaq did hit a premium, sorry, discount PDR. Again, another breaker. I think breaker is everywhere today, right? And price is respecting it nicely. We have another breaker here. So this up close candle, last up close candle before the move towards sell side liquidity, right? And then the change trend, sorry, the trend in change happened, and this becomes our breaker, and price respecting this breaker with fair value gap very nicely. Breaker, fair value gap, so as a high probability setup. Nasdaq still has relative equal highs with SMTs, of course. There's SMT on Dow. Look at that, Dow made a higher high where Nasdaq failed to make a higher high, right? It just made relative equal highs. So I'll be watching it, this pair, Dow, rather than watching Nasdaq. So what I'll be doing right now on 15-minute chart, do you guys see an inversion here? Yes, this inversion is powerful. This is something that I will teach you guys in my 3-day bootcamp. So I won't be talking about it here. It's an advanced level of theory. So I want to see price going lower from this inversion. Look at the 15-minute chart. This is the inversion that I'm talking about. It's more like a reaper, but is it a reaper? Yeah, it's more like a reaper than an inversion fair value gap. There's logic why ICT calls it a reaper. So there's no relative equal low the price generated, right? So I want to see a chance of getting an entry, but I don't see it yet. Like, we have a fair value gap here, right? If price was coming down inside this inversion from 15-minute chart, I would have thought of taking an entry here, but price didn't. Then we have another inversion right here. Price closed against this body above. Now let's see if price wanna go higher and get support from this inversion, from this reaper. More like a reaper. It's a breaker. So inside breaker we have a fair value gap. If you don't understand it, it's a pretty advanced concept. You will have to go and watch ICT's advanced theory on reaper, advanced breaker block theory video. So ES reached our objective. That's what I was marking. The breaker from the hourly chart, right? This is the breaker here. So now let's see if ES wanna push lower from this level. So if you are trading on ES, then you wanna see price getting sensitive here. And we have our last line of defense to expect lower prices from this inversion on 15-minute chart, sorry, hourly chart. This is a fair value gap that failed from the hourly chart. Let's see if price goes lower from here. Price will also be trading inside deep premium if it's reaching all the way up here. Price did hit the premium, right? But I still want to see price going higher, hitting this in fair value gap, which will also be like price hitting the breaker here. We have higher high, new higher high. So these last down close candles here are working as a breaker. So let me mark it. It will give me a good idea like where to put my stop loss if really price is presenting me the opportunity aligned with time. Without time, everything is low probability. So we have our 15-minute breaker. Then we have our hourly inversion. Couple of levels, right? So let's see if this inversion holds, this 15-minute inversion Yes, this is sending price higher. We have an implied fair value gap here. Do you guys see it? This candle and the wicks of the candle next to it are crossing each other, so this becomes a implied fair value gap. So that's why that's also a logic why I told you guys I want to see price stopping here, and it went up. This is a level that I want to see price getting resistant towards sell side liquidity. Are we inside our macro? We are inside our macro. 850, right? 850. So more like I'll do a trade tape reading rather than taking a setup, and the stop loss will be above here. I'm not taking this setup, folks. It's not inside the macro that I trust or trade most. 850 to 920 to 940, that's the macro that I look for. So I'll be watching this setup playing out. We are into premium. We hit the 50-minute breaker, we hit the hourly inversion. Now I want to see price going lower. If it doesn't go lower, it's okay. We still have another macro to look for a plus setup. But this to me is a very good setup, but I'll tape read this setup. Price is a 3-minute breaker. Yes, this is a very, very clean resistance level, and I think all of you can see it, right? So price coming back up. Me, folks, I saw like losing inside this macro more than I own. 850 to 910. So that's the time period that I'm to you. Okay, like you can trade inside this time period if you are willing to. Like if your setup is there. Me, I don't like to trade because it just like the last 30 minutes before our New York gets open, the New York equities. So before that time, price does a little bit of choppiness for the delivery at 9:30, and price gets cleaner inside 9:20 period. So the last 10 minutes before the equity opens, price just like gets cleaner. It generates liquidity inside that time period. So I get like a clean vision where price will gravitate to, with a clean potential idea, not like 100% guaranteed idea, but a good idea. Okay, that's where I have an edge. I can put the odds in my favor, but here it's more like I do tape reading most of the time inside these time periods. 850 to 910. Seems like price is still respecting our hourly inversion, right? There are so many manipulation in that macro. Yes, so that's why I'm just tape reading it. HYDRA, I have purchased your course, but I have 2 businesses. It's okay. Every session that I'll be doing will be recorded, so you don't have to worry. Okay, folks? Like, you can watch it later. I'll share the links, and you can watch it later. But be there, try to be there at the first day, folks. Like the breaker day will be very impressive, amazing. Like I'll be talking about a lot more stuff that I bet you heard about breaker. Okay, I will take you from the basic to the advanced level of breaker that you don't know. There are many types of entry that you can take from a breaker. Many types of entries. If you are missing one entry, it doesn't matter. The same breaker will provide another setup. Even before a breaker gets activated, their price generates setup inside it. Okay, and I'll teach you guys that. Like what I did in my free YouTube video. If you guys go in the YouTube channel and click on the link on the video section, you will see me talk. I did 2 videos about breaker, macro with breaker and macro with breaker part 2. Inside both of these videos, I talked about like you will have to wait for price to get close a candle's body before taking any entry. But in my 3-day bootcamp, I'll be like teaching you how to take entries before price activates a breaker. So these are like advanced level of theory. that's the reason I'm not doing it for free. People will just not appreciate it. They will not be able to do it by their own. It will take time, and in between, like, a lot of people will complain. But anyway, once you are like good spotting the breaker, the actual breaker, will be able to take these advanced entries. So now the price moved in my favor, right? We have a support, previous support level, this inversion. I would like to see this price going lower from here. So what I will do, I'll put my stop loss, I'll trail my stop loss for 15 points. And this is a fair value gap, right? I want to see price going lower from this fair value gap. If price is coming higher and not respecting the mean threshold of this last up close candle, I'll close my trade here. Okay, so that's how I do it. You are here to see how I do it, how I read price, right? Or to get signal from me. If you are here to get signal from me, type in the chat and I'll be happy. I'll be very happy to block you. You are here to understand what logics I'm using from price. So these levels, folks, was it on hindsight? Right? It wasn't. I marked this level before. When price was going lower, delivering the CPI liquidity, I talked about this level. This level will be sensitive. I showed this level on ES, on Dow, right? And I talked about price going lower. I still want to see price going lower. I waited for price to get inside a certain time, 8:50 to 9:10. That's what exactly our mentor preaches. You will have to wait for a certain time. You will have to, without time, price is nothing. What I did here, I waited for a certain time, right? Then I marked the PD arrays from where price can potentially reverse. There was no guarantee here the price will reverse, but there was a setup. When price was going lower at this candle, you heard me saying price will go lower. That's the setup. I gave the stop loss, I gave the target entry level. What do you want more? Me to execute in front of you? Okay, you can do your own execution, right? Okay, and then don't tell me like if you are making money here. Don't tell me if you are losing money. I'm not interested. I'm interested in like how better I perform each day. And each day I want to improve. So if you are like typing I'm winning with your signal, that's what I'm not doing. So don't do that. It will boost ego inside you. It will boost ego inside me, and that's where I don't want to go. Okay? I want to stream without emotions, like the way I trade personally. So no like getting hyped when we are winning, not getting hyped when we are losing. It's all a business. Losing will happen, winning will happen. It's all a fucking business, right? So 2 hours from here, as you guys can see, like it was easy. This dude, who are you, bro? Like HYDRA. Don't worry, I won't block you. Who are you? Let me check on you, okay? Put user in timeout. Bye. Yeah, I'll still be here. I'll still be like I didn't take entry, so I'll still be here looking for entries at 9:20 to 9:40. We'll see. So do you guys like my commentary here? It was called before it happened, right? No market replay, live price action market calling. So if you guys appreciate what I'm doing here, right, with you all, I'm enjoying it nonetheless, right? I'm really enjoying reading tape with you all, but sometimes I get crazy comments. It's okay. If you appreciate it, hit the like button. That will inspire me to do this kind of live stream every day, right? If you want to see me tape reading, and I think some of you learned from it, right? Like this thing took a lot of time for me to understand, like how to align higher time frame with lower time frame. So what I was doing here, was I just looking at 1 minute chart and predicting price, where price will go? No, I was going into higher time frame, marking the PD arrays the premium PD areas from higher time frame, right? So that's what I was doing. So higher time frame to lower time frame, and that's how you do it, folks. That's how you do it. That's the way. So I'll put this trade in my journal. This trade looks really good. Downloads. 78 likes. Can we get to like 100 likes? Can we get 200 likes? Can we do that, folks? 78, 200 people watching. I think we can get 200 likes. So we had a volume imbalance here. Right price did respected this volume imbalance very nicely. And if you are like still holding, trail your stop loss to break even or above this fair value gap. So even if price is coming up, this fair value gap is gonna be our last line of defense. A new candle on the hourly chart, so it might push lower and then like deliver toward buy side liquidity. I'm trying to see the power of 3 here: accumulation, manipulation, distribution that happens in every candle. So let's see where this candle stops. I'm taking you all through like the deepest live stream. I do that like the most knowledgeable live stream on YouTube, right, folks? Like taking you exactly to the exact PD arrays. I'm marking it in front of you. I'm telling you what I'm expecting to see from these levels, specific levels. I'm not calling market in both direction. I never did that. One direction, either I'm right or I'm wrong. There's only two options. So what's the point of getting feared, right? So yeah, one direction with higher time frame to lower time frame inside certain times. No one does any better stream than this. Do you guys agree? Like everything is aligned here. Everything that ICT talks about, time and price. Other people that do talk about time and price, but their execution, it's random. Right, they will talk, okay, that's a macro, but you never see them executing inside this time period. When they share their execution, it will be outside, like suppose at evening, or they're talking about AM session macro or silver bullet. Where's your execution if you know time and price? Right, so we have a order block here. That's what price is respecting. I want to see price getting choppy here, okay, folks? I want to see price generating liquidity, some sort of like this, relative equal lows or relative equal highs, like something like this. And at 920 to 940, I want to see at 920 price coming lower and hitting the breaker and then going lower. Something like this would interest me, okay? I want to see price generating liquidity now. There's no liquidity other than the low resistance liquidity run here. So the delivery here right now, I'll be talking about something new here, okay, folks? When price delivers in a low resistance liquidity run and it completes a delivery, the next delivery it does, it will be in a high resistance liquidity run. So at 850 to 910, price delivered with what? Low resistance. Like look at that. Price wasn't like getting slower when it's delivering here, right? It was delivering aggressively towards sell side. That's what we want to see before 920. We want to see price getting into low resistance, and at 9 to 920 we want to see price going into high resistance. Like it will be delivering with choppiness, not a clean delivery like this. And at 920 to 940 we expect again to price to get into low resistance liquidity run, like delivering here. So so what's happening here is like more like AMD accumulation. The accumulation, should I talk about it for free? Anyway, I'll give you guys a little bit hint, okay? Otherwise you won't know what I'm gonna be talking in my 3-day bootcamp. I'll be talking about accumulation, manipulation, and distribution before the macros. Okay, so that's something no one talks about. Price does accumulation of orders before inside 9 to 920. The manipulation that you guys see, it happens most of the time 920 to 929 inside that 8 to 9 minute period. And the distribution, the Judas swing that you call, it happens at 9:30. That's how I see it. Accumulation at 9 to 920, manipulation 920 to 928, 929. At 9:30 to 9:33, that's the distribution phase. After that, price reverses, right? And you call it Judas swing. So what I do, I take part before the market opens. So I basically predict where market will open, right? So it requires an advanced level of knowledge, and that's my favorite macro. I did it so many times in price that I know like what patterns should I be looking for, what price should do before generating a plus setup. Okay, if price does this, only then I'll take setup inside my macro. If price don't do this, I'll just taper it, wait for price to get cleaner. There are more macros for me to wait, right? So there's no rush. And you guys will never see me rushing a process. Like I know what's gonna price do. Like I have certain patterns in my mind. If price is doing this, I'll execute after that. That's my A plus setup. I'll be willing to risk my money there. If price is just chopping around like it's right now, I won't push the button. So price doing exactly what I wanna see, accumulate orders, and that's what it's doing here. It generated relative equal high. I wanna see more relative equal high or lows. So if you guys are interested in this kind of things like time distortion with breaker, did you guys heard about it? Reclaimed breaker, golden ratios with breaker, no, right? There's a lot of topic that I will cover in day 1 of my 3-day bootcamp. So trust me, this is gonna be the best $80 you are ever spending in Canada, in US, Australia. Then like in England, $80 is nothing, right? It's just like our 1-day money or one trade. My stop loss is not even $80. Most of our stop loss is not even $80. So trust me, the knowledge is more valuable than the money that you will be spending here. So price did generate a relative equal high, left it untouched, uncleared. So if price is leaving it unclean, if price is not going above these relative equal highs, so what I will be interested in watching price generating, coming down, hitting this gray shaded box. What is this gray shaded box, folks? I showed you all. I think some of you forgot. This is our fair value gap, right? But what I want to see, we have a relative equal low down here, a high probability scenario will be like at 9:20 inside the time period, price generating a breaker here, a swing low, right? A clean swing low with down close candle, then coming up, going above this relative equal high. As soon as price goes above here, it will generate a turtle soup entry. That's how you know how to take turtle soup. Okay, if price is coming here above here, I'll be waiting. I'll not take the turtle soup entry live, rather I'll wait for price to go below the down close candles, and that's where I'll take an entry targeting this low here. And 2R, I believe it will be easy for from here to get 2R. Price is volatile, is CPI, right? So what do you see here? Price is in a high resistance liquidity run right now, right, folks? This delivery here was in a low resistance liquidity run. This is when price delivers with choppiness. Did you know it before? Now you do. That's the knowledge that I shared with you all for free. What like people are paying me to get to know about it. So I'll be talking a lot more about this. Like there are many scenarios that price can do accumulation, manipulation, and distribution before a macro. So it's not just only one scenario. There are a couple of scenarios. There are high probability scenarios. There are low probability scenarios. So that's a lot of stuff that I won't share for free. So what I want to see, price coming up right now, it generated enough relative equal lows here. I want to see this relative equal low staying intact. If price is clearing this level out before 920, then That would interest me less. How long have you been trading? Almost like 3 years. Not even 3 years, so yeah. What is your monthly result in average? More than 5%. If I'm getting more than 5, like 4 to 5% is like the average that I expect. To be honest, I don't expect, like, even if I'm getting 2%, I'm happy with that. But I'll consider a month a best month if I'm getting 4 to 5% of my equity increase. And my best month, like in this year, was 12%. It was in July, August and September were really good for me. So I'm going like really slow in this month. We are inside CPI, like a lot of high impact news this week, right? So there's no reason for me to push or force any setup inside this week. Rather, I'll wait for the next week for price to get clear. And now that we deliver CPI, I'll be trading tomorrow on my live funds. Today is Thursday, right? So tomorrow is Friday. So I'll be doing that. Will you also talk about days to avoid trading and how to learn missing setup? I'll not be talking about days. Rather, what price will do that will make you avoid that trading day. Not like, I won't say you avoid the whole trading day. If price is like before, if you want to trade before a high impact news, that's when you should stop. But there are certain things that price does. Even you guys saw it, right? If you have experience, you will see like price delivering into low resistance liquidity run even before the news release. So if you see that, you can take a setup. It doesn't matter, like, right? If you have the experience, if the pattern is there, and if you are willing to risk the money, you can trade every single day. So what I'll be teaching you all, like a pattern, certain patterns on price, that if this pattern appears at this time or before this time, you'll be looking for this setup. If this pattern appears after this time, you will be avoiding it. Okay, so the concepts will be inside based on like certain times, and you will be looking for patterns inside these times, not all day. Okay, you will be avoiding times other than macros. You'll be looking for setup patterns to occur aligned with higher time frame, just like I did here. What was I doing? I was looking for a pattern that I saw a lot of times in chart, right? I saw price generating breakers like this on higher time frame. I saw price generating inversion, fair value gap, this hourly inversion. That's where price stopped, exactly where, at this inversion, at this fair value gap. I talked about it, this fair value gap, right, folks? If you are here long enough, you heard me talking about this inversion. So what was so important about this inversion? Why not any other inversion from the 15-minute chart? There was a lot of fair value gaps on 15-minute chart, HYDRA. This is on higher time frame, and this is the last inversion before the move lower. So this is a strong level for price to get resistance. Once price comes back up, retest is a strong level for price to get resistance towards sell side. Did you know it before? Yes, you know about inversion, but did you know exactly about this thing? You didn't, right? There's a lot. There's many more things to talk about inversion. That's the reason I chose 3 models for 3 day. Breaker the first day, second day inversion, the third day turtle soup. Each model, each day, with everything that I know, every pattern that market can possibly present in front of you inside certain time. So that's a lot of knowledge, folks. If I'm speaking about just about the topics, it will take 10 minutes for me to finish the topics that I'll be talking. And here you can see I'm doing commentary live in front of you. I'm telling you what price will do, right? Price, before price did this, the choppiness, didn't you heard me saying that price will become choppy? How did I know that? Experience, folks. So you will be buying my experience, not a course. It's not gonna be a course, trust me, but it will be better than anything that you have on the market right now. It will be more like the way our mentor teaches. I'll be doing presentation on Microsoft presentation there, more like slides, slide by slide. I'll be showing you that if price, suppose price showing a pattern here, then what price will do after that in another slide, then after that with logic, with rules and everything. So price, I want to see this relative equal lows staying intact. If not, if price is clearing this level out first, then look at the liquidity that price generated. What did I say, you guys? Like, price will generate liquidity before 920 to 940. That's what it's doing right now. When the equity is open, we are expecting to see price going higher. It's not like 100% guarantee, but it's a high probability, right? We trade on high probability. We are not gambling. We are trading with 60% to 80% chance on every setup. If a setup is presenting like 30% of chance of winning, then I'm not taking it. Just like here, it wasn't a high probability setup for me. Why? Because the time I'm not comfortable taking a trade inside 850 to 910. But the setup was there, right, folks? If this price action was happening inside 920 to 940, I would have taken this trade. But hey, we were able to identify it before it happened, so that's what matters. We have a breaker from the hourly chart. As you guys can see, the low of this breaker is coming here, and price is retesting this breaker. I want to see it going lower now. So the this candle's body is coming at 34.042 and 42 price. That's where price exactly stopped. Look at this, 34.042. Price generated more relative equal highs, right? This is nice. This is my second day of finding you in So Happy I Did. Yes, I'll be staying here Nez live, so you will see me like 2 or 3 days in a week. I'll try to do live stream. Do you log your trades, and how, where do you do that? I know there are softwares, but I just wondering, are they good, or simple Excel would do? So simple Excel, I don't use it. What I use is Notion. Okay, so Notion is like the perfect. Notion is perfect for journaling. I'll show you guys how I do it. So let me take you all to my Notion. Where is it? So this is how I journal. Right, every setup that I took on September is here. What I took a long short at what date, what was the outcome, loss, win. Then there's also like how much I lost, how much I made, what was I targeting, was I like impulsive, calm. Then there's also the risk to reward ratio. There's a lot of things, folks. Like, it's a personal thing that I write to myself. It's not for you to see, but I'm showing you like how to do it. There's a template. You can make it by yourself. It doesn't take like much time. If you watch a couple of YouTube videos, you'll be able to make it. But that's the most important thing. Journal your losing trades. Okay, that's what most of you don't do. Journal your losing trades. It doesn't matter if you're losing 5 in a row. Trust me, folks, it's common. It happens to everyone. Okay, at the beginning it happens to everyone. After some time, when you will have experience, you will be able to avoid things like me. So losses, 5 losses in a row, 4 losses, 3 losses, it's just normal. You will just have to follow the system like a robot without getting emotional, and that's it. With time, over time, you will outperform everyone. Don't listen to someone who says, okay, I'll teach you something that will give you 80% win rate and then 20% losing rate. His win rate will not be your win rate. You know why? Because you will not be able to do what he is doing. He has experience that he gained over time. You didn't put the time in. So gain your own experience. Okay, folks, like, don't trust someone saying like, okay, I have 80% win rate, now I'm teaching you, you will get the same exact result if you are trading with this model. There are a lot of other things that a model does not provide, like the getting early, getting to like after, right? Like trading after, missing a setup, executing impulsively, taking a lot of entries. So these are some things that a model will not be able to help with, right? You will have to control yourself, and that's what impacts our win rate. Your win rate is not your model. Every fucking model out there can outperform, like that can present result with 80%, 70%, every fucking model. Then what's the problem? Why people losing? Because of this. They think a model is what will give them high win rate. It's not, folks. Okay, it's what your win rate is your experience. The more win rate a person has, that means it's not the model that's giving him the win rate, it's the experience that's serving him. That's why ICT's win rate cannot be yours, but he's teaching the same thing, right? Why it's so hard for some of you to understand, but it's a very simple logic. Win rate is not based on a model, always remember, folks. So this is a very good looking pattern, right? Relative equal highs, just as I wanted to see. The folks who were here, you heard me mentioning about this stuff. So it's happening right now. Price generated a low here, so I think price will go below here and we can take a turtle soup. Let me look for a PD area where we can put our stop loss. This looks nice for a stop loss to me. Like this is the candle that has a fair value gap, and these are order blocks, but there's no fair value gap. So I'll be marking this one the low of it. If price is coming down, hitting this, clearing this swing low, then what I'll do, something like this, not a signal, folks. Like if you are not comfortable, like don't tell me what you are doing, okay? Do your own stuff, I don't care. So this is our fair value gap from the 50-minute chart, and we have another fair value gap on 1-minute chart where we can put our stop loss. We have relative equal highs, which is below premium. So price, I'm expecting to see price going higher, but we are inside the macro, folks, so I'll not take the entry in front of you. Do your own thing. This is the setup. This is the setup that I see. So yeah, I'm not gonna be executing in front of you. You do your own stuff. Do you use copy trading tool? Yes, social trader. I think it goes by social trader tools. That's what I use. Smash the like button, folks. If you guys are enjoying my commentary with time and price, smash the like. I can see that 200 people watching and only 120 likes. What's up? Am I performing so low that I'm not even getting 80% of the like? I can expect 80% like, right? So imagine what if I'm sharing this for free, what I'll be sharing for the people who are paying me. A lot more deep advanced knowledge than what I'm talking here. So this level is too clean, folks. Like we have a higher time frame relative equal low from the 50-minute chart, right? Do you guys remember? This is a low, swing low. Price is generating relative equal low. So what I want to see, price not clearing this level out before dropping, rather clearing this level first and then going higher. If price is clearing these levels first, okay, folks, like price is coming up at 927 or something, I'll push the sell button here. I'll wait for price to get into premium and then I'll push the sell button. If price is delivering liquidity here first, then I'll be pushing the buy button here. So not like a bias, determined bias trading, but more like what price is presenting to me now in the present moment, what is showing me on lower time frame. That's what I see. I already shared the crypto macro, forex macro in my private Telegram group, the 3-day bootcamp. If you are subscribing for that, then you will also get crypto macros, models for crypto, plus models for forex model, macros for forex. So a lot of things. So I'll be going to a surgery today, folks. I'm gonna be doing the LASIK surgery. Did you guys heard about it? I have an appointment at 1 o'clock. So I won't be staying with you all like after 9:20 to 9:40. I won't be tape reading the 9:50 macro. Rather, I have a surgery today. So it's not a long surgery. It's like a a 10 to 15 minute surgery. I think you guys heard about the LASIK surgery, right? So that's what I'll be doing. I wear a very strong glass, very powerful glass, and I don't want to wear it anymore. So I waited for it so long. They did a procedure with me for 2 months. Like my eye corneas are now good because I stared for too long in the computers and it hurt my eyes a lot. But when you have money, you can buy peace, right? So that's what I'm gonna be doing today. I'll be going to the clinic and I'll be doing the surgery. So pray for me, wish me luck. It's the most sensitive part of our body. That's where they will be surgerying my eyes. Right? I was so scared to do it, but hey, it's a great opportunity. Like I'll not have to wear any glasses afterwards. So yeah, I'll be doing that. So not that what I want to see, like I wanted to see price going lower, you know, like clearing these levels out and then going higher. Rather, price is pushing higher. So let's see if price presents a setup in front of us. This is not valid anymore. Price is just like chopping and it's far from my target. If price is delivering here first at 9:30 opening, then I'll buy. If price is clearing these levels out first, I'll be selling. So what's our dealing range here? I'll also be talking about the dealing range inside my 3-day bootcamp. So our dealing range is from this low to this high, not this one, because this low is still not broken. We have our premium aligned with this volume imbalance. So that's why I told you guys that I want to see price going higher if it's clearing these levels out first. Very nice, very nice. I want to see price pushing higher. 9:27, just a couple of minutes. Just a couple of minutes. I want to see price coming higher into the premium and then going lower. Something like this will interest me. Thank you all for wishing me luck. I only need the prayers. I consider LASIK, but I decided against it when I found out it only reduces your dependence on glasses if you have a strong prescription. Yes, my prescription is very strong, I believe. I have to work and cannot attend. Will you make this available through recordings? Blessings for your surgery. Yes, I'll be recording it. So every session will be recorded and you will be able to access it afterwards. So we have a breaker here, which I want to see failing. Okay, lower low, new lower low, but these are relative equal lows, right? Seems like price is doing what it does, the manipulation. So it didn't reach for this, folks. It's going for the low here. Price still has this relative equal high intact. So I'll go back to our previous setup with a stop loss below here. Stop loss is more like 18 ticks, 18 points, and a target of 40 points. Not bad if it's hitting our TP, right? Otherwise, I'll just be watching. It would be good, like if price was leaving these relative equal highs intact, but it cleared it. We'll see. 929. Okay, so price is going higher. What's the stop loss? Wait for price to deliver. And the entry, let's see, price pushes higher a little bit more. Stop loss will be above here, and the target will be the low here. So 2R, perfect 2R. I don't think I'll get an entry. Yeah, I won't get an entry. Yeah, see? Price did what I wanted to see, but hey, it was like more like an aggressive turtle soup entry. I wanted to see price hitting the premium, then going lower, but it didn't reach for the premium. Rather, it cleared out the relative equal highs here, and now it's going lower. But hey, we learned from this, right? We were right in predicting where the 9:30 delivery will happen. There was no hindsight, folks. I told you guys that this is what's going to happen. If price is coming up, then this is what I'm looking. But hey, there was no entry for me other than just watching it. It happens. Missing trades, it happens. So this will be it for today, folks. I hope you guys enjoyed, and do you guys have any question, you guys can ask me here. And as you guys can see, that's how I decide my bias before 9:30 delivery, right? Didn't I tell you guys that if price is coming up first, clearing this level first, I'll be ready to short? But the price didn't reach for premium, otherwise I would have short here. Then I told you guys, if price is clearing this level first, then I'll be buying. That's how I do my bias. Lemo what? Money. So we have a high, higher high, then we have a breaker here with a fair value gap. But price didn't retest it right away. Otherwise, I would be interested here, because price had a lot of unfilled fair value gaps on hourly chart here, but it's delivering to it right now. He's filling the gaps. So not something that I would find interesting anymore. But here the setup is here, the pattern is here, the breaker, higher high, new higher high. So these down close candles becomes our breaker, extended out on time. We have a fair value gap here. So now let's see if price generates any relative equal lows here and comes back up, right? 932. Let's stay a little bit longer. Looks nice but seems risky, right? It's not risky when you are doing it every day, when you are looking for the same thing to repeat every day. It's not risky at all. It is not, folks. So this is a fair value gap that I'll be watching, but price is yet to reach into the premium from here, right? So that's also something to keep in mind. But price is delivering and filling liquidities before hitting the fair value gap here. So this fair value gap is also coming with the inversion that I talked about from the 50-minute chart. So I'll also be watching this inversion plus this fair value gap. Can we be here for the 950 to 1010 macro? We'll see. I'm waiting. Now that I saw this fair value gap with this breaker, right, I'll be waiting for price to see what price does here. I'll tape read with you all. Okay. So we have our breaker here. Let me mark it. Breaker. Then we have our CB. Which we can consider as a high probability setup. Then we have our stop hunt here, a new higher high here. So let's see what price does. I don't see any relative equal lows here. Otherwise, it would be like a high probability setup. It's just that the pattern is here. It's not a high probability pattern. So this setup doesn't interest me anymore. I won't be staying longer with you here. Folks, like it's delivering way lower, and my targets that, suppose I took the setup from this breaker here, what will I target now? I don't see any targets. I saw targets before the fair value gaps from the hourly chart, but right now, no, I don't see it. So I'll just be closing the stream here, and before I do, I'll be choosing one person from here, from the chat, who will have a free access to my 3-day bootcamp. Okay, I'm willing to give that place to one person. I did choose someone before from the last stream, so this is the stream. Who is the person? Who is he? Let's see. Oh my god, like I'll have to use like an auto picker right now, I think. What's happening? Oh my god. Anyway, so the person that I choose is, I'm gonna mention you. Don't be sad, folks. Every day I'll be doing stream, and every day I'll choose one person from here who will have a free access to my mentorship. Just giving back to the community, you know, like you guys support me so much, watching my streams for so long. Yeah, you are getting information, but you are still watching, right? So just giving back to the community. And here's the winner. Here's the winner. Where's the winner? What the hell? Okay, I didn't type his name. Let me type his name. It's... How do I pronounce your name? Delphine. Delphine, please contact me on... Delphine, I tagged you. Yes, I did. So please, you will find to text me. Please email me. Okay, you will find the email address in my Telegram group, and you can join my Telegram group from the description below. The links are there. So yeah, congratulations, you have a free access to my 3-day bootcamp. Text me or email me. I'll be sharing the link for you to join inside my 3-day bootcamp for free. So this is it for today, folks. I'll be catching you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday, right? Let me see. Yes, no, Wednesday, Thursday, Wednesday. Yeah, tomorrow is Wednesday, and if my surgery is going well, if my eyes are still alive, again, then I'll catch you guys tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, so hope to see you guys back again tomorrow, and I hope you learned something from today's stream. Like, right, I was able to outline beforehand 2 setups in front of you with no hindsight, with one direction of delivery, and seems like both price delivered both liquidity, right? Something that you rarely see any ICT student doing live. So I hope you appreciated it. I'm closing it here. Peace.